So welcome to the Mind Dream Spell. Today we're entering into a new wave spell. So we've just exited the White Wind Wave Spell, which is all about communication and learning to really open our spirits, to be able to connect with others, to feel the connection and get in touch with our higher self as well, improve our communication with ourselves. And now we're moving into the Blue Eagle Wavespell. Now, these wave spells are programmed into the mind soulkin in a specific order. They're not just coincidental. And when we look at this, the Blue Eagle wave spell that begins today runs for 13 days. The Blue Eagle is all about the visionary, right? It's about the capacity to rise above the fray, rise above all the noise and chaos around us so that we can get that eagle-eye perspective, to reconnect with the greater picture, the greater vision of what we're working towards. And so when we think about that in relation to where we've just come from with the White Wind Wave spell, which is all about communication, what it wakes up in me is this idea that, so often we get stuck in the noise of our own lives. We create these echo chambers all around us of these realities or at least illusions of realities of what's going on. And we begin to react to what's around us. We react to everything that's happening, thinking that that's reality, when really it is simply the echo chamber that we have found ourselves in and often create around ourselves. And so it's really important right now, during this next 2 weeks, that to take some time to allow yourself to surrender the idea that you are sure of what's happening, to take some deep breaths and allow that white wind, that communication, that breath to lift you up above the chaos and to reassess the situation. So for these next 2 weeks, we have a great opportunity to really reconnect to why we are doing what we're doing. Whether you're at a job out there in the normal world, or whether you're like a lot of people out here, you might have heard I'm sharing a lot on BitClout, a decentralized social media platform. There's a lot of you out here on BitClout, for example, who, can get caught up in things like coin prices and things like this. And if you're not on BitClout, I've got a playlist that will explain all this. But these are all short-term goals. These are all short-term things that often can create a kind of, restlessness and impatience that we have to hurry if we're going to get to our goal, and otherwise, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to be left behind. It's, and this applies to everything in our world. We can get so caught up if you're watching the news or you're on, traditional social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter especially. It's noisy and it can feel like reality is scarier than it actually is. And so the invitation for this wave spell is to take some time to just breathe deep, use the energy we've just been gathering for the last couple of weeks, and really slow down and ask yourself, what is my why? Why do you do what you do? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you go to work? Why do you spend time with your family and friends? Why do you spend money on things, technology, or going out, or all kinds of escapisms that you might be doing? Why? Why do we do anything? And so spend some time really reconnecting with your why. Because without a good connection to the bigger why, then everything just becomes this kind of complex noise, and it can become very overwhelming. And so in a way, I know myself personally, I've had a very strange day today where I've had amazing podcasts and sessions and things that have gone on. Yet at the same time, other things that I'd been looking forward to had just fallen away, and I found myself getting into this like quicksand emotional pit where I was just it all felt too hard. And so rather than fighting against it, because like quicksand, when you fight against that feeling and struggle, like, oh, but I should be able to do this, I should be able to push through, I should be able to whatever, it kind of has a counterproductive feeling, right? It can kind of sink us even deeper into the quicksand. Just like struggling in quicksand actually makes you get more and more stuck in quicksand. So instead I surrendered. I let the emotion overcome me. I went and snuck into my bed and just crawled up and I could feel the energy just like, it's painful. And so often we run away from that pain. But rather than react to that emotional pain, I dropped into it and allowed it to kind of have its way with me. I passed out for about an hour. I woke up feeling super groggy. And then as I just kind of let everything roll out and just breathed and slowly came back into the world, all of a sudden I remembered what was really important to me. And I remembered why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I remembered what's important, my family, my friends. And that was almost like, you see in the movies when someone gets stuck in the quicksand? My greater why is almost like that branch they extend, into the quicksand for you to grab hold of and help pull yourself out. Your why is that branch that will help keep you from sinking into that quicksand and staying there. But first you have to stop struggling and fighting against it and allow yourself to, instead of reacting to your environment, just kind of take that third person view, that witness view, and watch and witness and see. And then what begins to happen is we refine the why, and it allows us to feel more inspiration. It gives more meaning, more purpose. Because humans are meaning-making machines. If we don't have meaning in what we're doing, we will become depressed. If you don't have purpose in your everyday for something that you're waking up for, you will become depressed. If you don't have a reason for being here in the world and going out, and that reason doesn't have to be to save the world or something huge and glamorous. That reason can simply be to be here, to be human, to experience as deeply this experience as you can. And that's kind of my why. It used to be to save the world. It used to be this big catalytic change maker. And then I realized that the greater why for me, because that created anxiety, a lot of it. And then when I realized the greater why for me is that I just want to be as human as I can be. I want to be as free from my anxieties of the future and as free from that depressive quicksand of obsessing about the past, to be as much right here now as I can. And to fully embrace each moment that life delivers me in this moment and surrender to it. To truly experience the depths of being human, to feel as much, as deeply as I can feel, to see. Look behind me right now as the sun's setting here in Western Australia, up here in the Perth Hills. Look how stunning this is. The contrast of this old tree in the winter up against that sunset with the green grass and the beautiful trees. And I had a kangaroo behind me just before that took off as I began recording. This is my why. To sort myself out internally, to polish my mirror, as Ram Dass would say, so that I can see clearly in high definition the human experience, and then share that with everyone that I'm blessed to meet, and to share that with you. So what's your why? And I'd love to hear from you. If you want to post in the comments under the YouTube video or on BitClout, where I'm sharing this at the Mayan Dream Spell, if you're on BitClout, I really would genuinely love to hear what your why is. And before you post it, remember to take some time to breathe into it and take a moment to first make sure it really is your why and not just the mental idea of what you're supposed to be doing. So enjoy this Blue Eagle Wavespell. I'll be posting daily little snapshots, just little paragraphs to help with contemplation through the Wavespell. And you can find those on BitClout. The link is in the description under this YouTube video. So thank you so much for joining me in this one, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks with the next one.